Okay, hopefully yours looks something like mine. Again, it's fine if you don't have the orange color. You can do it with pencil. So we colored all our squares with even products orange. What patterns did you notice? There's a question right below your last video asking what patterns did you notice while you were coloring this in? I noticed a lot of patterns, and I hope you did too. Now, one of the questions says, can an even product ever have an odd factor? So we know that a product is the answer to a multiplication sentence, and the factor are the two parts of a multiplication sentence. So let's take a look here at 1 times 1. 1 times 1. We know that that equals 1. And we know that 1 and 1 are both odd. So I'm going to make a little note of that on my whiteboard here. I'm going to say, get this straight, odd times odd equals odd. An example of this, just like I showed you on my paper, 1 times 1 equals 1. 1 is odd, 1 is odd, 1 is odd. Now let's test that theory. Let's make sure that's true. Odd times odd equals odd. Well, is 3 odd? Yes. Is 1 odd? Yes. Oh, look at that. My answer is also odd. Now let's try a bigger number. How about 3 times 5? Is 3 odd? Yes. Is 5 odd? Yes. Is 15 odd? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, so we know odd times odd always gives us odd. What about even times even? Let's do 2 times 2. We know that 2 times 2 equals 4. Okay, let's make a note of that too. Even times even equals even. And I'm going to put a little reminder here. 2 times 2 equals 4. 2 is even, 2 is even, 4 is even. Let's make sure that that's true. Let's look back at our chart here and find some even factors. So let's look here. 6 times 2. 6 is even, 2 is even. Look at that, my answer is 12, and it is even. Okay, so we know that works. What if I have a problem like 2 times 7? 2 times 7 equals 14. So that would mean even times odd equals even. Because the example we found, 2, even number, times 7, an odd number, gives me 14, another even number. Let's make sure that's accurate. Let's see, what about 6 times 5? 6 is even, yes. 5 is odd, yes. 30 is even. So even times odd equals even. So let's look at our question one more time. Can an even product or an even answer ever have an odd factor? Well, let's look at our little notes here. Can an even product, here are my answers. Can an even product ever have an odd factor? Well, what do you guys think? Here we have even times odd equals even. That tells me that an even product can have an odd factor. Let me say that again. An even product or an even answer can have an odd factor. Can an even product ever have an odd factor? Well, I just answered that. I hope you were listening very carefully. Now, let's look at part B. Can an odd product ever have an even factor? Well, let's look here. Odd product, it's my only odd product. Are either of those even? They sure aren't. So can an odd product ever have an even factor? All right, let's go ahead and take a pause here. Make sure you answer part A and part B.